For people who are not familiar with hyperbaric oxygen therapy, and of course, we're talking about medical grade hyperbaric oxygen therapy, the real deal, not just the stuff you get in wellness clinics and spas. This is much more powerful. Can you tell us a bit about how it works, and what is it doing in the body?
Yeah, so the theory that was presented to me by Aviv is this. So it's based on a Nobel Prize discovery in medicine about a hormone that's produced when you're in hyperbaric oxygen, in terms of being on and off oxygen. The way the Aviv clinic works, I think this is what separates it from most other clinics that practice, at least the ones that I know about. You're in a chamber for 2 hours. You're in a chamber at Aviv with up to 14 people, each in their own very comfortable chairs. Everyone has their own tablet in front of them. That's for the brain training exercises that you do while you're in there. But the theory that was presented to me is you're on 100% pure oxygen for 20 to 30 minutes, depending upon the session. And then you get a 5-minute oxygen break. And when you're on the oxygen break, you're breathing regular atmosphere, which is 21% oxygen. Then you're back on the 100% oxygen with the mask, and then you're off. You're back on it, and you're off. So the oxygen breaks are 5 minutes, and the on oxygen sessions are between 20 and 30 minutes. This goes on for 2 hours. The theory that was presented to me is when you're off the oxygen and you're breathing atmosphere, your body enters a hypoxic state. It's not dangerous. You're just breathing regular oxygen. You're just breathing regular atmosphere. But your body, being used to that 100% oxygen, enters a hypoxic state. They call this the hyperoxic-hypoxic paradox. That is, you're in a hypoxic state, but it's not dangerous. But in those moments when you're off the oxygen is when your body starts generating stem cells. Those stem cells then do the repair work. They find damage in your brain, in your body, and do the repair work. So the way that it was described to me by Aviv is that we trick your body into healing itself.
I see. And was your impression from the Aviv staff, the Aviv clinic team, that it really is the hyperoxic-hypoxic paradox that is the healing active ingredient of this therapy? Because I believe that that's quite recent research, and that previously people just used to think it was because so much oxygen was getting in everywhere. So is it
Yeah,
now more the case that it's really the HIF and the hyperoxic-hypoxic reaction that is the key to success?
I believe that's true. That's what was told to me, and that's what I came to accept. Yes.
Okay, very interesting. So that kind of speaks, I suppose, also to how it's going to take time. Each treatment is like a stimulus towards healing, and the
Yeah.
body has to work on repairing itself. So this is not something where you go in and do a week and then you're feeling great. This is a slow and
Yeah.
steady, and you have to stick at it. This is quite a commitment, as you know, for
And
3 months.
yeah. And importantly, it's very important to point out that I was told from the beginning, don't expect to get better right away. This takes time. And they said some people don't get better for months after their treatment. Some people, it could take up to a year. I was very fortunate. I started seeing improvements in the first 2 weeks on my symptom scale. I saw steady, consistent improvements with a couple lulls during the 3-month period. But by the end of the treatment, I had a symptom-free moment first, and then I had like a symptom-free couple hours, and it was like I had tried to imagine what that would be like. I couldn't even imagine. I'd said to my wife and my mom and my brother so many times, I don't even remember what it's like to feel normal, to feel well. And I started having symptom-free moments, and then symptom-free hours, and then I had a symptom-free day, and then I had a symptom-free week. And by the end of my treatment, I was completely symptom-free for 2 straight weeks. And I couldn't believe it because they told me not to expect it to happen so fast. For me, it did. For others in my dive group, there were 14 of us when we started, all at different times. And people graduate, come out, graduate from the program at different times. But other long COVID patients in my group didn't see the type of dramatic improvements I saw. They did ultimately get better, but for one of them, it took 6 months for her to get all the way better, but she did, in fact, get better.
So those other patients, they actually did, it wasn't just a question of ultimately quality of life, but they actually did recover as well.
At least one of them did. Now, I haven't stayed in touch with all of them since we departed because they live abroad. Um, One lives in the UK and several live in the Netherlands. But two patients from the Netherlands got 100% better. And the other patients that, as far as I know, saw improvements, but I can't speak to how well they recovered long term.
I see. So which week was it into the 12-week process where you said to yourself, wow, my life's going to be different forevermore now? When did that moment really happen where you were certain that something good was happening for you?
Well, I was certain throughout. I would say by week 3, I was pretty confident that this was having very good benefits for me. But I would say the first day of week 11, so the second to last week, I knew that I was getting better, that I was recovering. Yeah.